Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really big topic, data analysis. Think of this as your fast track to understanding what this whole field is about. It's definitely in demand.
Exactly. We've sifted through quite a bit to pull out the essentials for you. Our goal really is just to demystify it. For anyone listening, the learner, show you why it matters so much today.
Okay, so let's dive in then. We're going to look at the basics, like what is data analysis actually,
hmm
and where does it pop up? I bet it's in more places than people
Oh,
think.
definitely.
And, what do you really need to get started? Maybe not what you expect, then the tools, the key ones, and of course, what the job scene looks like.
Right. And hopefully by the end, you'll have those aha moments, seeing how like raw bits of info turn into something genuinely useful
Yeah, you hear that phrase, don't you? Data is the new oil.
all the time.
And if that's the case, data analysts are, I guess, the refiners, taking that raw stuff and making it valuable.
That's a great analogy, actually.
So let's get right into it. What is data analysis at its core?
Okay, well, basically, it's a process, a structured one. You start by looking closely at the data, inspecting it. What does it look like? Any obvious problems? Then comes cleaning. Super important. Making sure it's accurate, reliable.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out kind of thing.
Exactly that. Then you transform it, maybe reshaping it, combining different bits to make it more insightful. And finally, modeling. That's where you use different techniques to find hidden patterns, draw conclusions, support decisions.
So it's definitely more involved than just like staring at a spreadsheet. There's a real method there.
There is.
But if we had to boil it down, the simplest takeaway.
Simply put, it's turning messy, raw data into clear, actionable insights. Insights you can use to make better decisions or just, answer questions.
Got it. Actionable insights. Okay. So where is this happening? You said it's everywhere, but where specifically?
Yeah, it's surprisingly widespread. Take business, for instance. Obvious one, maybe. They use it constantly for market research, understanding why customers buy things, not just what. Sometimes even finding needs people don't even know they have yet.
Latent needs. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And analyzing customer behavior, forecasting sales, all that helps them make smarter decisions about, well, everything. Inventory,
Yes.
staffing, you name it.
Makes total sense. Businesses need that edge. What about outside of business?
Oh, healthcare is huge. Analyzing patient records, masses of them, to see which treatments work best.
Wow.
Predicting health risks, even tracking how diseases spread. Think about like flu season data can show where outbreaks are likely, so they can target prevention efforts.
That's incredibly powerful. Huge impact. Where else?
Finance, of course, heavily reliant on it. Risk management, figuring out the chances of losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Fraud detection, too. Data analysis can spot really subtle patterns of fraud that, honestly, a person might just miss.
Right. Things that don't look quite right when you crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
Exactly. And portfolio analysis for investments. Then you've got education, tracking how students are doing, finding learning gaps, improving how we teach.
So it spans from, high-stakes finance right down to the classroom. That's quite a range.
It really is. Governments use it too, for policy decisions, seeing what impact different programs have, budgeting, making public services run better,
Okay.
even sports. Tracking player stats way beyond just goals or points. It informs game strategy, player development.
Yeah, Moneyball effect and all that.
Kind of, yeah. And obviously, e-commerce and tech, they're constantly using data to personalize what you see online, recommend products.
Right, the algorithms.
And optimizing how their websites work so they run smoothly for you.
Wow. Okay, it really is woven into, well, almost everything. So for someone listening, maybe thinking, okay, it sounds important, but I didn't do computer science. What do you actually need to get started? Do you need to be like a math whiz?
That's a really common question. And the good news, honestly, is no. A computer science degree is definitely not the only way in. That's encouraging.
It really is. The key things are more about mindset, I'd say.
Yeah.
First, just being curious, someone who likes asking why and digging around for answers.
Okay.
Second, basic math and logical thinking. You don't need advanced calculus or anything, but understanding the fundamentals helps.
Right.
And finally, maybe the most important, just being willing to learn and, crucially, to practice, putting in the time.
So it's less about having a specific degree up front and more about your approach, your willingness to learn.
Precisely, yeah. We see successful analysts from all sorts of backgrounds, social sciences, business, stats, engineering, even education. They often bring really valuable perspectives from their own fields.
That's genuinely reassuring. Makes it feel much more doable. Okay, let's get practical then. Someone wants to start building these skills. What are the essential tools they should focus on? Where do they start?
Right. There are a few core tools that give you a really solid base. First up, Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets.
Ah, the familiar spreadsheet.
Exactly. They're super versatile for just entering data, cleaning it up a bit, doing some basic exploration. Most people have touched them, right?
Yeah, probably.
And you can get pretty useful with them in, say, 20 to 30 hours of focused effort.
Okay, 20, 30 hours. That sounds manageable. How do analysts use Excel beyond just lists of numbers, though?
Well, you can do calculations, obviously, but also filter and sort data really effectively to spot initial patterns.
Yeah.
You can create basic charts, use